Hey, welcome back to Test Latino. Today we have a very special guest. We have Vera, better known as One Millennial Girl. Hey Vera, how are you?
I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about yourself. There's a lot of people waiting, people that send questions. Tell us a little bit about about yourself. What do you do? What's your name? Where are you from?
Okay. I am Vera. I live in Houston, Texas, but I'm originally from all over. I am currently a labor and delivery nurse, which surprises almost everyone when I get out of my Tesla and they say, "Hey, nice car. What do you do?" And I say, "I'm a nurse." And they all look a little bit disappointed. Like they expect me to be an engineer or drug dealer or something. I don't know.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
You had my friend Earl on, the Frunk Puppy guy, and I think he coined the term Tesla stretch. So people who have never bought a new car before or never paid more than $20,000 for a car, and now they're buying Tesla Model 3s. And I'm definitely one of those people.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly how it is for me. Why did you pick your Twitter handle, One Millennial Girl? What does it mean for you?
Okay, so the whole name is Millennial Girl in a Material World, but that was too big for Twitter, so I just made it One Millennial Girl. But the reasoning behind the Millennial Girl is almost seeing people on Facebook who put down millennials, even though we're people born from the 80s up until I believe 1996. So we are not brand new kids still in high school and middle school either people who are professionals and working and becoming managers. And yet everyone seems to put down millennials and say that they can't afford or a house or anything like that because they eat avocado toast and some other really dumb stereotypes. So I kind of made that Twitter account just to rant back at baby boomers. And it wasn't supposed to be Tesla focused, and now it is Tesla focused.
I see. Okay. How long have you had your Model 3 actually?
I have had my Model 3 since the end of August. It's been great, although I put my reservation down um, shortly after the reveal party. So it's been in my mind for 2 years.
Okay. Cool. Do you know by any chance what VIN number you have, like the level? Is it like an earlier model that they gave
It
you
is,
back in August, or is it later model?
it is, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think that I was one of the 10,000 who were stockpiled. Um, because when I got my car, it still has the rainbow red, orange when water heats up on it, whereas
Hmm.
the newer VINs don't have that rainbow color on them.
Yeah, I have it on mine, and mine is 18,000 plus.
Okay, I'm 28,000.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, cool. So you're already an expert with the Model 3. You had it for a long time. And which is a good segue for the next question because it seems like you're like me. I love doing road trips. And
Yes.
it's been all the buzz on Twitter, your road trips. There's a lot of people that have been commenting on it. There's a lot of questions about it. So, um, have you always done road trips, or is this just like the Tesla that made you want to go do road trips?
I am used to traveling. I would travel between Florida, which is where I used to live, and New Jersey and Pennsylvania, where I went to college, Houston, Texas, to see my boyfriend all the time, and I always flew. So I drove my Nissan Versa from Florida to Houston, Texas when I moved here, and that was fine. I enjoy driving. I enjoy driving by myself. Um, but as you saw, I just recently went to Tennessee for a family reunion, and I went to New Jersey to visit my brand new niece for the first time. And those are definitely things I would have flown to in the past. But I wanted to give the Tesla, um, try her out for long distance.
Okay,
Good experience.
cool, cool. And how was that? The charging experience, like stopping. Did you stop many, many times, or not as many as you thought you
Yeah,
would?
I'm just going to be completely honest with you in this interview. Definitely some fallbacks.
Okay.
One of them kind of changed. So, although when I put in navigate, it told me everywhere I was going to need to stop and how much battery I was going to arrive with. If you drive faster in Texas, 75, if you drive faster than that, your energy consumption goes up rapidly. So you start to see how many miles you're going to arrive with decrease pretty quickly. And I just haven't let it get down really past. I'm nervous. So I really want to arrive at my next station with at least 10%. So I would have to start making myself go slower, like go the speed limit. Oh my God, just to arrive comfortably. And that's not how I normally drive. I normally would drive approaching triple digits.
Okay. Good to know. But you have to stay safe at the same time, so be careful on the road.
Yeah, so the Tesla keeps me safer, but it definitely took longer than it would have otherwise. And when I did stop, I thought that I would be traveling how I do in a gas car, which is you put gas in the car, and while it is filling, you go pee as quickly as you can, Skittles from the gas station, you get on the road again, and you don't take up any more time. With a Tesla, you can't do that. So I thought I would unplug as soon as 30 minutes hit, but I didn't. I let it charge extra, and I found myself walking around the malls or the shopping centers or wherever the supercharger was at just to get out of the car for a little bit because I was doing this trip by myself, and I kind of got bored being on the road for 33 hours.
So it was an enjoyable ride in the sense of how the car drives and the whole safety thing, but you rather have it be a little bit quicker, is what you're saying.
Take a Tesla for a road trip. It's not going to be as fast as your gas vehicle, but you're going to enjoy the journey a lot more. So my trip wasn't just getting to my destination, but it was actually the drive too. And it was pretty enjoyable, just very long.
Okay. Do you have any crazy stories from your recent road trips?
Yes, you may have seen that I drove, well, let's back this up. On the way to New Jersey, I had worked a 12-hour night shift as a nurse. And then I got home from work, packed my belongings, packed up my dogs, and drove 33 hours to New Jersey on autopilot most of the time, and nothing happened. I did accidentally fall asleep at the wheel once for probably 10 seconds and woke up terrified. Kept me safe, and I don't think anyone on the road realized that I had fallen asleep. So that's a little crazy, but not what you're referring to. What you're referring to is on the way home, I let my boyfriend drive, and I slept in the bed that I made in the trunk. Pro tip, if you fold down the seats and add a comforter, a king-size comforter, fold it over in half, and then take a king-size blanket and fold it over in half, you kind of have 4 layers underneath you, and it makes for a very comfortable bed. You don't have to go out and buy a $600 dream case or go to REI and get a $300 sleeping mat. Take a comforter and fold it in half. You're going to be fine. So anyway, I was sleeping and my boyfriend was driving and he got tired. So he wanted to pull over into a parking lot, and he would have crawled in the back and slept for a few hours back there with me. There was space. So he pulls off the road and takes a little concrete driveway, and the driveway ends, and what appears to be a dirt lot, well, what appears to be a concrete lot is actually a dirt lot in Louisiana, where it rains every single day, or every time I drive through Louisiana, it's raining. So this dirt lot is just a mud pit. The car leaves the concrete driveway and instantly sinks down inches into the mud. The mud was up onto the wheel rim above the tire a little bit, and then the car wouldn't move. So I woke up instantly, and he was pretty upset and knew that I would never let him drive my car again. So I called Tesla roadside assistance at 4 a.m. they told me that this is a user error, not a Tesla error, so I would have to pay for it myself. Hung up on them. Well, I didn't hang up. I told them I was going to call AAA because I pay for that. Turns out my boyfriend didn't re-up his AAA this year, so had to call Tesla back, and they said that they could send someone out to me at 10 a.m. And I said, "Dear Tesla, it is 4 a.m. It's raining. I am sinking in mud. And you can't get someone to me till 10 a.m.?" And they said they would use a non-Tesla approved towing company and just send a regular tow truck. When the guy arrived, he had never worked on a Tesla before. I couldn't figure out how to put it into neutral at the time and was trying to look up on YouTube, and I had heard that you can't cinch it and drag it. It needs to go on a bed, but you can't get a bed into the mud pit. It needed to be drug out of there. So anyway, he starts dragging the car. I don't even have it in neutral. The towing option doesn't seem to be working. It's pretty stressful at the time. Eventually, I get it into neutral. The car gets out of the mud, put it on the concrete. It's perfectly fine. No issues. It was just a couple of hours, $140 later, back on the road. No problems.
Wow, that's quite the that's quite the inconvenience, actually. Wow. Okay. Well, at least you're out of that, and it was a little bit
Yeah.
expensive, but you were safe, and I'm glad you made out of the situation in one piece. It could have been worse.
Yes, absolutely. And while we were waiting for the tow truck, climate control on, and I told my boyfriend, "You are so tired. You just drove us into a mud pit. Go in the back and sleep. I'll drive the rest of the way home." So he slept the rest of the way home.
Okay, that's cool. And you enjoy driving the car again. Perfect.
Yes.
Cool. So talking about the car and how much you enjoy it, what is the your favorite feature on the Model 3?
Um, the acceleration, getting to a red light and being the first person at the red light, and it doesn't matter what car is next to you. Yes, it's the most fun when there's a Porsche or something, but even a regular car, by the time the light turns way down the street, the other cars are still going through the intersection, and I don't feel like I'm slamming on the accelerator and trying to blow people in the dust and driving like a show off. I feel like I'm just the same way I would a gas car, and I'm just way ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, and the thing is that you get used to it also. You're driving a car that is very powerful, and you're already used to it. So to you it feels normal, but you're definitely leaving some, a good portion of the cars behind you, like far away. So yeah, it's part of having that car.
Yes, and when you're on a one-way road and you get stuck behind someone really slow and you want to get around them, in my Nissan Versa, I would not play chicken with other cars. I would never pass because it took so long to accelerate. So I would get stuck behind someone going 40 in a 60 for miles and miles and miles until they turned off. Now I can real quick get around people, don't have to worry about playing chicken with cars going in the other direction. Just functional luxury. I'm not going to the track and trying to get the best mile time. I'm just trying to drive around town, and the Tesla's the best car on the market for that.
Agreed. Agreed, definitely. So how about this? You're all in with Tesla. I think I heard you saying a little bit with like you're investing also in shares, but is Tesla the only Elon Musk company that you're excited about, or do you follow like SpaceX and the Boring Company?
I follow them. SpaceX is a private company, and so is the Boring Company, so I don't invest in those. I follow everything Elon, follow him on Twitter, read that biography. He didn't write it, some lady wrote it, but he had a lot of input into it. So I read that. Yeah, definitely a big Elon guy, but I don't think he's perfect. people out there who think he can do no wrong.
Well, nobody's perfect, but he's doing a really good job with many things, and people learn to appreciate it. But again, nobody's perfect. He makes mistakes, and we all do, and he has admitted them and corrected them, and he's a special mind, so it's very difficult to change someone that is so special like that. And I personally don't think we need to change him at all. So work with the good stuff.
Yes, and I hope he gets us to Mars and saves us from 2 degrees Celsius and horrific climate change and all the bad things coming down the road if we don't change our fossil fuel consuming ways.
Yeah, I will leave the gasoline just for race cars, basically. Every car on the road should be electric. That's my opinion. I'm a car guy, so I enjoy actually, fast cars. And Tesla has made that for me as well. So awesome. And you know what? You just mentioned SpaceX and Mars. Would you go on a trip? Would you take I got dibs. I want to go to Mars. Is that you?
If it was a one-way trip to Mars, probably not in my lifetime. If somebody offers you, I've heard this saying so many times. I think it's a Google saying. If somebody offers you a space on a rocket ship, you don't turn it down. You just go. You don't say, is it the window seat or the aisle seat? So if I got the opportunity to go, absolutely. I'd be much more interested in one of those trips around the moon that lets me come back to Earth.
That would be sweet, definitely. And how about future plans for Tesla? Do you think that this is your last Tesla car, or are you looking forward to any of the other models?
Yes, so I've talked about my Nissan Versa so much, but it was a hatchback, and I love the hatchback. The Model 3 seems a little bit large for me. The Model S, I actually got a little bit turned off by Tesla because it felt like driving my mom's old boat, like an old Mercury or something. Faster, but huge. So then the Model 3 came out and was smaller. I really like that, but it's still a large car for me. So I'm hoping the Model Y will be even more compact as a hatchback, and then I'll give the Model 3 to my boyfriend. Hopefully be like fiance or husband by that time. But anyway, so a hatchback is in my future, and then a roadster if I get those referrals, because right now I don't have 250 grand.
Oh yeah, that thing is insane. Everybody wants that car.
Yes.
We should all get it. Let's talk to everybody, all our friends, all our coworkers. Teach them about the lifestyle, what it takes to live with an electric car, and turn them to the dark side, like I call it. So
right, when the 35,000, the short range battery, the $35,000 version comes out, I think it'll be a lot easier to get referrals for us mortals who don't have large followings at this point.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, that price drop is important, but they did recently come out with the mid-range version, which amounts to just a little bit over the $35,000 mark. When you compare, yeah, it's probably closer to 10,000 over, but if you're financing and things like that, the difference in your payments is very little. But granted, people that want the $35,000 version, as it was announced, should get it. But a lot of people have jumped into the mid-range. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yes.
And let's see, what else do we have? I have some questions about your strategy on the Tesla stock. Are you looking to stay invested in Tesla on the long term? Or are you looking for a quick buck, in the next year or two, something like that?
I am long on Tesla, although some people recently on Twitter have said, why do you care what the price is today? Just buy today if you're going to be in it for 2 to 3 years. Well, I don't want to buy when it's higher than it's going to be tomorrow. I have noticed that Tesla tends to drop on Fridays. It's like the latest short published, and the stock crashes a little bit. So I like to buy on Friday, and then by Monday I've made a profit, rather than if I buy on Monday it's going to take me a lot longer to make a profit.
So you're investing and moving it in and out?
I haven't sold any at this point. So I'm not buying on Friday and selling on Monday. I'm just buying on Friday, and then next Friday I buy another share, or whenever I see a good dip. I love to buy the dip. I don't like to buy when the stock is going up.
Okay, gotcha. Before we go to the questions we have questions from a few followers of yours, and but is there anything else that you would like to say to your followers before we move on to their questions?
Well, thank you. And my first follower, again, Earl from Frunk Puppy, even asked a Twitter question that said, mention your first follower. So hi, Earl. Anyway, I owe a lot to him because he's deeply invested in the Tesla community. He's friends with the larger podcasters out there. And most of my followers are also his followers. So thank you, Earl's followers.
Awesome. That's a perfect segue because the first question is from him. Who was your first follower? You just answered that.
Yep.
Now, Earl is asking about your front puppy photo. He's asking if that was doctored.
Yeah, so somebody said that I like photoshopped the dog in. No, I took a picture of my dog in the frunk with the pumpkins. I did a standard filter, like, you know, increase the contrast or the brightness, change the white balance a little bit to make it look less drab and more crisp. And then I think in the corner there's a little bit of a red light flare. Yeah, that's added on. I think the Instagrammer, Tesla photographer, he adds a light flare in the corner of all of his photos, makes it look gorgeous. So yes, almost anything I post on social media will have some type of filter to it. But the dog is legitimately in the frunk, and so are the pumpkins.
Okay, cool. He's also asking why do you have so many blankets?
Oh, because that's the only way to make the frunk comfortable. Or not the frunk, sorry, the trunk to sleep. Just pile down the blankets in the back, and that's nice and comfy.
Okay, cool. This other one, I'm not really sure what he means about this, but he's asking, as a millennial, will you kill Frank Puppy? I'm not sure what he means by that.
Oh, so a typical or a stereotypical millennial headline that you see, like Forbes will post it or something, and they'll say, millennials are killing the housing industry. Millennials are killing the restaurant industry. Millennials are killing the taxi industry. So that's what he's referring to. As a millennial, am I going to kill the funk puppy industry? And no, I love Frunk Puppy, so I'm not coming for it.
Okay, awesome. He's also asking, this is the last one from him, from Arrow. He's asking, why are you always the last to get updates?
I don't know. Oh, because I don't have Wi-Fi. I park in the bottom of a parking garage where there's no service, no LTE. My car cannot communicate with the powers that be at Tesla unless I'm out and about, so they can't really send me updates.
Okay, that answers that. I've been getting lucky. I've been getting the last few updates like really quick. Yeah, the last one was a couple of days ago. Elon announced it, and the same night I got it. It was insane. You should check it out if you haven't seen it yet.
Get the emails from them, like the email that said that version 9 was coming and the email that says that Navigate on Autopilot is coming, and then wait weeks and nothing. And I get service. I have 5 bars of LTE service when I park at work, but I don't seem to get any updates yet.
Yeah, you need that Wi-Fi going, I guess. So we need to get you that good broadband and good Wi-Fi in front of your house. Okay, let's see. Blank Space. No, actually, yeah, Blank Space asked. Actually, we already answered this. Why were you in the mud, and how deep was the mud? So we got the answer to that. Let's see the other one. Lawson. Lawson says he'd love to hear more about camping mode in the Model 3. He is a 6 foot 4 inches tall and says that he's pretty sure they won't fit, but he's really curious. Did you leave climate control on, and what sort of bedding did you use, which you answered earlier, but yeah.
Yeah, so because I had my dogs, I am answering this because you're 6 foot 4. If you go on Amazon or wherever and you get one of the dog trunk protectors. It attaches to the back of the driver's seat and the passenger seat in the front, and then extends all the way back through the trunk. This is really great because even though the front seats and there's space in between the front seat and the driver's seat, that barrier can hold weight, unlike, I don't know, just the air there. So by having something to rest your feet on, you get more inches. Front seats push forward so far, you probably get another 6 to 8 inches on top of how much space you get from trunk to the front of the back seats folded down. You get to use all that extra space because you have that dog trunk protector there acting like a surface. So my boyfriend is 6'1", I think, and he was fine, didn't have any issues. I've seen a 6'3" guy in the back of a trunk. I don't have any experience with somebody being 6'4", but if Jeff is 6'1", sorry, that's my boyfriend. If he's 6'1" and didn't have any issues, and you move those front seats up, you're going to have at least another 6 to 8 inches, and you should be totally fine. Make sure that your head is in the trunk, though, so that you gain all that extra space for your feet. Because if you put your head up there, it's not going to be able to hold your weight, and it's going to be awkward, and you're going to feel like you're falling, and it won't be comfortable.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a pro tip right there. So how about the AC? Do you leave it on, I guess, all night? Probably, right?
Yes. So I've heard of camping mode where you can leave it on all night long. What I did is I got out of my car, plugged in the supercharger, got back in my car through the rear seat, and then the car is basically off and it doesn't have any air going. So then I went into the Tesla app and turned on climate and turned it on to my preferred setting. I feel like it lasted about 30 minutes and then it turned off, and I'm not sure how to make it last longer than that. So if you had your dogs in the car and wanted to go into a restaurant and you put the air on for them, after 30 minutes, would it turn off on you? And yes, you would still have the cabin overheat where it wouldn't let the car get above 105, but I don't want my dogs in that either. I want them in 68 degrees or something. So you'd have to be cognizant to either go in every half hour, or hopefully you're sleeping in the car at night and it's not too hot outside and you're fine. But yeah, I'm not sure how to make it last all night long. Somebody smarter than I has probably figured it out, because if you just use it from your Tesla app, I think it goes off in about a half hour.
Yeah, and you can restart the AC with the app, but it's a feature that I think Elon said that was coming out soon, and that was a while back, so we haven't seen it yet. Maybe it would be good to like start pinging him about it again. When are we gonna get the camper mode?
And he did just mention dog mode, which I think may end up being camper mode, so that it doesn't go off in just 30 minutes. And then, I don't know, I don't care about sleeping in my car and it's considered dog mode. I'll be a dog, it's fine.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. So Jonah, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Jonah. Hi, Jonah. She does a lot of, I've seen her stuff with special rocks and minerals, and she does jewelry, I think. So she's asking about what's your favorite color on the Tesla, on the Tesla, and she's saying that she will match a mineral to it, depending on what your favorite color is.
Okay, so Jonah, my favorite color is the one I have, Midnight Silver Metallic. The red is gorgeous on the Roadster. If I had a Roadster, I'd have to go red. But for all the other versions, Midnight Silver Metallic, easy answer. I hate white cars, so sorry to everyone with pearl white. Not my thing. Stormtrooper is cool. If you did the chrome, looks like a Stormtrooper, you're awesome. Just not for me.
Awesome. You're forgiven. Team Midnight Silver Metallic is the best team, in my opinion. I know I'm gonna get some heat for that, but I have an MSM also, so go MSM. Let's see what else we have. So we have someone. This name is really strange. I've never seen it before. I don't know why, but his name is Eating Elon's Brain.
Okay.
And he's saying, how did the dogs react when you first drove them around in the car? Did they howl with delight, or did their eyes bug out in surprise?
Um, they were fine. They slept the entire time, and they stayed in the back and didn't bother me at all. So I can't say that they were delighted. Can't say that they were scared. They just slept.
Yeah,
So that's it.
let's be real. The dogs don't care about what car you're driving. They just want to be with you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, well, we answered that. Let's see what else. In Elon we trust. Next question. He says, curious what type of work you do that prevents you from including referral code. And we already know what you do. I know the answer to the inclusion of the referral code, and I think I know what he's referring to, but I'm going to let you answer that because that's a good one.
Yes. Before the referral program was updated, you would see everyone who owned a Tesla and talked about Tesla on their Twitter would have in their bio, if I've helped you regarding Tesla and you're going to buy one, use my code Tesla 415 or no Vera 41525 for a free supercharging credit. Everyone had it. When they updated the referral program, the rules changed, and it says that you cannot use your referral code in your social media bio. So that would be your Twitter bio. So many people still have it. I don't think Tesla is enforcing it at this time, but that's why I removed mine and said, DM me for the goods, because I don't want to be put in Tesla referral jail.
Yep, you're absolutely right. That's the rule. They're not enforcing it like you said, but you know, who knows? Maybe you don't want to
people with it still.
Yeah, you don't want to risk being close to making the roadster and then they say, "Oh, we're not going to give it to you because you have that on your bio."
Right.
That's a good call. Now, the last one of your followers is Jeffrey R, and he sent a bunch of questions. Let me see which ones we can get. We'll get through them. It doesn't matter. Let's see. What are your top 3 often asked for new features? Like, what's the stuff that you would like to have on your car the most?
I would love if on the navigation it showed little cops, just like Waze does. I don't necessarily navigation, especially for the superchargers. So it doesn't work for me to open up Waze on my phone and shoot the navigation, which to the Tesla, which is what the new version 9 update is. You can use Google Maps, you can use Waze, you can use whatever, because it's not going to give me a route with superchargers on it. But I still have Waze open up on my phone because it tells me that there's a cop up ahead, which not an issue when you're going the speed limit because you're trying to save battery. But when I like to drive, you need to know if there's cops up ahead.
Okay. Next question from Jeffrey says, what's your unique supercharger count? Like, do you know how many supercharger stations you have visited?
Too many.
Too many.
I don't know. The ones, Louisiana, Mississippi. I'm a regular. I stopped at the same supercharger in Louisiana 4 times. Once to Tennessee, coming back from Tennessee to New Jersey, back from New Jersey. And their same cashier was actually at a Love's rest stop. The same cashier was there every time. And every time I bought a peanut butter Cliff Bar, pretty sure she recognized me by my 4th time being there. It's like, why am I a regular in Louisiana?
Okay, cool. So yeah, you got to check that history to see which ones you have been to. And you know what, since you've been doing so many road trips and driving a lot in your Tesla, have you noticed any battery degradation because you're using superchargers a lot? Or is it still like, if you put it to charge 90%, are you still getting those I don't know, like 280 miles of range at 90%? Are you still getting that?
I'm the worst Tesla owner ever because I don't know. I was definitely worried about that, and I only charged to 100% a couple of times. I definitely went over the recommended amount for daily driving and put it like, I don't know, up to 95 or something. I didn't go to 100 a lot. I got the warning that said if you leave this here and do this repeatedly, it's going to damage your battery. But I did it anyway so that I could make that trip. And I don't know if it degraded my battery at all. But I'm not going on any road trips for a while, so hopefully not. And do you know Tesla Van Life? He's really prominent on Instagram. So Tesla Van Life is a man who used to work for Tesla, and then he owns a Model X. He no longer works for Tesla. I forget why. He didn't get fired or anything. I think he quit to like pursue living in his Tesla and Instagram. And he charges at a supercharger every day.
Oh yeah, you know what? Now that you mentioned it, yeah, I did. Yeah, I think he's taking some pictures from inside the Model X, pointing at like rivers and lakes where he's sleeping at. Is that the one?
Probably.
Yeah.
He lives, I think, in San Fran, and he works as a Lyft driver. And you can't tell that he lives in his Model X, but he's funny, and it's kind of cool. Like, I was between buying a Tesla and buying a camper van and living in that, because I love the whole car life or van life community. And the fact that he does it in a Tesla is kind of crazy.
Well, yeah, it is. That's awesome.
But yes, and I don't think he would do it if it was killing his battery.
Yeah. Interesting. It would be good to hear from him to see how that's going. And which one of all those chargers is your favorite? Like,
my favorite is the chargers that are along the highway at like the rest stops. You don't even have to get off the highway. Those are more common up in like Connecticut, and then there's a charger in Louisiana that has a really cute dress shop. And every time I charge there, I go buy a new dress.
Okay, cool, awesome. Let's see. I have a couple of more questions from Jeffrey again here. Let's see if you could make, cook, or bake a meal or a snack for Elon, what would it be? I don't know where it's going with that.
Probably a salad, because the man probably could eat healthier.
Okay. What is the lowest state of charge arriving at SC and home? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
So some people,
supercharger. Okay.
yes, some people have arrived with 1%, 0%, where it says that their batteries have 0 miles left, but they actually get a couple of more out. Not me, girl. I want to arrive with at least 10%. So I think that's the lowest I've arrived. And then I saw that his last question was why a Tesla fan?
Yes.
And the answer to that is I'm a Tesla fan because the cars are cool. I like cars, and saving the planet.
Awesome.
So that's it.
Cool. Well, Vera, that's all the questions that we have. I really want to thank you for spending the time answering all these questions. I hope we can get to do this again. And if you have any other messages for your followers.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, absolutely. Why not?
So I'm about to start a little controversy here,
Okay.
which may or may not be good for me.
Okay.
Could lose all of my 200 Earl followers, so sorry. What is your opinion on the fact that when people first bought the Model 3s, only the performance was available for referral codes? So I was not able to use a referral code, and I didn't get the $100 supercharging credit, which to me, it's not about the $100. That would be nice, yes. It's more about the fact that people who waited and support Tesla as soon as it became available on June 28th to go in and make your order, people who waited and thought about it got rewarded with the supercharging credit, and it just feels a little bit that that you should take care of your super fans first before you take care of people who are hesitant to buy. In my opinion, it feels like Tesla did me wrong, or did all of us wrong.
Yeah, you know what? My opinion, my very personal opinion on this is that I don't think they did it on purpose. I think it was more of an afterthought. It was probably looking better on paper than in reality, and now that they see how vested, how invested people are in the company and the whole movement, they say like, you know what, we need to, give everybody a chance, and I think that's why they open it up. I'm honestly not sure what happened with that, but I try not to dread it too much because I was never like that was not what drove me to adopt, owning a Tesla or being part of the company or the movement. I'm investing in solar as well and a power wall and all that stuff, and I'm doing it because I think it's the right thing to do, not only for my pocket, but also because we need to help the planet. So yes, I understand frustration in that regard, but I am not holding a grudge against them. I think it is what it is, and I am more than happy and grateful for the car that I have. Whatever the people that are shorting the stock and stuff think that they're not gonna be good. I don't care about that. I really think they have something great going on, and it's only getting better every day. So yeah, I support them.
Okay, so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you so much for joining me. Stay safe on the road and hope to talk to you again soon. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.